seen, so we'll have to be prepared to stop that. But it's also his ability to run behind the line of scrimmage when needed to and create plays. But explosive player, one of the better quarterbacks in the Big Ten.
The bye week allow you to watch football and have anything come more in focus for you about what you have left in these next 8 months?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time recruiting, so I didn't get as much as I normally. Well, I saw some high school games, but I think watching. I think the message I said to our players is, how does Alabama go from losing the first game to then they beat Georgia, and how does Florida State go from beating Alabama and then losing to Virginia, and how does Illinois go from giving up 63 points, being 63-10, to then turning around and beating USC? And I think there's way more parity in college football than ever before. And B, it comes down to your mindset. You know what I mean? And so are you locked in and focused? And whereas, outside the building, you might hear a lot of people say, well, this team's this team's that. You really never know which version of that team's going to show up. You can only control yourself. And so making sure that our guys have the best version of ourselves showing up. I believe last year Michigan State, coming off the bye, they came out and they beat Iowa in Iowa City, which is a hard thing to do. That's a good football team. So Jonathan Smith is an excellent coach. They'll have their team ready. We have to have our team ready. And I think that's the biggest thing. And you saw a lot more close games going down to the wire, coming down to one play. And so in a game where, our game came down to probably one play, not saying we're a play away, but came down to one play, our guys have to make sure that they're ready to play so every player can chase their one play and aggregate, 20, 30 better plays.
You mentioned last time you were there, you were looking for some resolution on some things like number 2 running back. Are you closer to that?
Yeah. I think we have a really good plan. We won't say anything until Saturday. You guys will see it. But I think we came out of the bye week feeling really good about a lot of guys in terms of where they're at. I thought the team got a lot better last week. So I think we have some clarity, and we'll have some things still go on this week, right? Some guys battle things out as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday. But we'll I think we feel good about kind of where we are.
How useful is the bye week for a younger defensive line in particular to take a step back to see some things? And I guess you said you might come back to be one-on-one last week.
Good on good. Yeah, I'm sorry. We went good on good. We wanted to get back to just playing football. And that's something I think most people do during the bye weeks. Maybe the second bye week you rest up a little bit, but we understand that we have to. We're one of the top teams in the country throwing the ball. We're one of the top teams in the country at pass defense. We are not there running the football. We are not there stopping the run. And obviously, we talked about protecting setting the pocket. So there's areas that we need to get significantly better at, and I don't know how to get better at running the ball and stopping the run other than in practice. So we went good on good. We worked those things. We have a lot of D linemen getting a lot better. As I've said, I know it's just the football part of it. If a lot of the runs aren't necessarily always on the D line. They're on everybody. It takes all 11 guys to run the football and stop the run. That being said, I think everyone got better during the bye week and also had a chance to kind of catch their breath over the weekend. And they came back. They were ready to work last night. We're off today, and we'll get after it tomorrow.
What is the outlook for Malcolm Hartsock this week?
He's doubtful for this week. He's trying to come back. But I can't say that he'll be back this week. I can't rule him out, but I can't say he'll be back.
There was obviously a lot of frustration after that loss from the players. Did you feel that that's been transitioned, fueled into focus this week?
Yeah, no one cares about your feelings. I was frustrated. They're frustrated. Play better. That's the message. Just play better, practice better. It's just no one's coming to rescue you. There's a lot of really good teams out there that are frustrated after a loss. I watched a lot of really good football teams on Saturday, and teams that were behind came back and won. Teams that were ahead lost. Teams lost on 2-point conversions. Teams lost on a field goal. It's just the new age of football. There's a lot more parity. You lose the game, correct it, move on. So we've tried to correct it. We've tried to move on. I think good teams never let a game beat them twice. So that can sometimes be hard to do, but there's no time to wallow in self-pity.
Michigan State's punters hit 9 punts inside the 20. What's just been your message to your return unit this week?
Yeah, he's an NFL punter. It's impressive what he can do. We also have a really good punt return team. So they have an excellent punt team. We have an excellent punt return team. So we'll have to make good decisions backed up. At the same time, we want Jacory to catch the ball and go try to make something happen. We're here to play football. Okay, so we're going to try to win the game. We're going to try to play football. We're not going to just fair catch everything. We're going to try to go make some plays, and so I trust Ja'Cory, but it's really not Ja'Cory. It's the 10 guys in front of him. That give him a chance. And but the punter's excellent. They're punt return team, and they're number one in the country in punt returns too. So they've got excellent special teams, but we like our special teams too, and it should be a great battle.
Based on those passing numbers, Nebraska and Texas Tech are 1-2 in the country in passing yards per game. Could you have imagined 7-8 years ago and the offense that you and Joey put together at Baylor would have ever evolved to the point where that would be the case?
Well, I mean, we threw the ball pretty good there too. I mean, we threw the ball a lot there. Probably if you saw me at Temple, I was probably way more of an I formation guy there. But I haven't had a chance to see Joey a ton. I had a chance to see like a few minutes of that game versus Utah, and then they were off this week. But yeah, I mean, I think we have an excellent quarterback room. I think we have great tight ends and receivers, and who can get open, and so we've been kind of slinging it around, and guys been making some plays. But yeah, I never thought I'd be me personally as a head coach. But part of this is, as I evolve, and you look at the stats that matter, and you look at those things. I mean, we need to score points. We need to be explosive. We just have to add in a couple other elements we've talked about. We need to run the ball with a little more consistency. I shouldn't even say consistency. A little more explosive nature, and we just defend the pocket. We'll have a chance.
There are 13 teams in the Big Ten averaging 30 or more points. It's just a different league than it was even 2 years ago.
Well, I mean, I just know, like, when I first got here, I haven't followed, like, the Big Ten West. This is certainly not the Big Ten West, right? So. But, I mean, I watched the Penn State-Oregon game. I know the score inflated at the end, but that was a once, a low score. It was 3-3 at the half, right? I watched Indiana-Iowa. Indiana setting all kinds of records. That was 10-10 for most of the game, right, or 7-3. So, once you get the initial couple, hey, we played our, non-conference schedule, you get in the conference schedule. I mean, really most of the stats that we look at for our guys, we're looking at just in conference games, because that's where the competition starts to stiffen up, and you're playing people that know you. I mean, one thing about being in a conference, here with us, the schedule changes, but you start to play people year after year. You kind of know, hey, when we play these guys, they like to do this, and so conference statistics. But yeah, it's a widespread open league, and the teams that scored points last year went to the college football playoff, right? So I mean, we've done 1,000 studies, and you get really granular. Like, you have to score points to get in there. And at the end of the day, it's still an eye test, right? And people are making decisions not based off the all 22, the one I'm watching. Well, hey, look at that double team. They're making it off the TV copy. And so, I mean, we're not trying to worry about what people think. I'm just saying, in general, I think the whole world has evolved that way. I mean, you're not going to get many illegal men downfield on RPOs. You're not going to get many. It's built to score, and it's built to, sell trucks, I guess, in between the quarters, on commercials when people are watching it.
Hey, Coach, you guys have been home. It'll be 43 days between Maryland and Kansas City. I mean, how beneficial has this stretch just being at home? I think you're the only team in the Big Ten that opened with 2 straight conference home games, which is obviously rare too. How beneficial has that been for you guys?
I think it's been great. We haven't having to deal with the travel component of it, which is a big part of this league. We'll be dealing with it here soon. I think when you're faced with a league with so much travel, I mean, we can find the things that we love. Man, we got a chance to start off at home a bunch. We can find the things that we hate. We have 2 Friday games. I know they just announced Maryland's 3:30. We were hoping for 11 so we could get back. So we have two Saturday away games, and then coming back and playing a Friday game. So, but I heard Coach Lanning talk about the other day about travel they have to do. We're facing teams coming off bye weeks a lot this year. But you know what? I mean, 18 teams spread out throughout the country, and someone's going to be upset about something. So I'll take the good with the bad. We'll play the game on Saturday, and after the game kicks off, none of that really matters. It really comes down to how you play. So, like I said, no one cares. Go play, But I think it's been great to be at home. I like playing in front of my wife and kids. You know what I mean? Like, I like playing in front of my neighbors. I like playing, like our players. I like seeing our players after the game, and they got their girlfriends and their parents with them. I mean, some people obviously travel with us, but it's cool to be at home.
You said last week you don't really know about freshmen until they start playing. Are there some young guys that you'd like to see a little bit more of coming out of the bye?
Yeah, there definitely are. I'm not going to probably say too many things. I think I've talked about Mosey. We made him the kick returner last week. I think he's improving. I think Cortez has done an excellent job. He deserves reps. Quinn Clark is a redshirt freshman. He's done some really good things when he's out there. Defensively, Rex Guthrie, is a redshirt freshman. I think he's playing really good football when he's out there. So, But yeah, I think some guys last week had a chance to really refocus and have a really good week of practice, and so I'm hoping that they can carry that forward. So I think we're developing the next group of guys on our roster. I mean, there's some guys doing some things on special teams that are people probably don't notice, but Pierce Mooberry running down on kickoff, Derek Wacker, guys like that are doing excellent jobs.
Matt, what did you see from your offensive line last week, and what do you expect from that group going into this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's either. I mean, they're a good group. They're a good offensive line, and they hit a bad day, and we didn't respond in the way. The interesting thing is I think we scored 17 of our points in the 2 minutes before the half. Now, obviously, one was a Hail Mary, but you still have to block people on a Hail Mary. And then the last drive of the game, right? And so when it was crucial time, and it was like, hey, they're going to drop back and pass, like we were able to do it then. So, we're all going to get punched in the face. Some people whine about it. Some people cover up. Some people swing back. And so there were times where we swung back, but we didn't swing back nearly enough. And so they know what they need to do. That's a group of guys that love this university and love the football team and give everything they have. But we're going to face another big, powerful unit. I mean, on both sides of the ball. Michigan State's offensive line and defensive line are going to come in here and try to push us around. And we have to be ready for that. So we went against each other last week, but now we got to go against another opponent. And so it's time that we get punched in the face. We can't cover up. We got to come out swinging. I know they're going to come out swinging, so I'm expecting us to.
When you coordinators attack a bye, do they kind of attack it with the idea, and I can ask them this tomorrow, the mindset of trying to fix what is already, what maybe the mistakes are, or are they trying to maybe retweak and add some things for the stretch run?
I think all of the above. I think you're also looking at your opponent, right? A lot of times you have a bye and the other team doesn't have a bye, so you're kind of waiting for the next game. But since we both had a bye, there's a lot more work to be done on your next opponent. But I think we're looking at ourselves and saying, okay, what are we doing well? What are we not doing well? And then all I ever ask our guys to do is, what are we doing well? What are we not doing well? Whatever we're not doing well, what's the plan to fix it? Is it to double down and do it better? Is it to tweak it, to change it? And I just ask the guys, are we doing the right things? Are the right people doing the right things? Way back when at Penn State, we were always told, the right defense with the wrong player is never as good as the wrong defense with the right player. And so defense to me is about, like, warriors getting off blocks, making tackles, knocking balls out, hitting quarterbacks, picking balls off. That's, our guys on defense, they know they played a lot of really good plays against Michigan. And they let a couple plays get away from them. And that's, again, there's two different feelings, right? Like, none of them are acceptable. But if you're sitting there and there's just like 6 yards, 7 yards, 6 yards, it's like, gosh, we can't stop them. This was stop, then boom, So if you look at our numbers, like our 20-plus play percentage, like we're one of the better teams in the country. We're literally on defense. We're pretty much in the top 25 in pretty every category that we pay attention to until you get to that run area. Then all of a sudden it's like, ugh. And it's big. It's explosive runs, but it's also 6+ runs, and it's all correctable. So I think we've been just looking at, like, hey, are we doing the right things? Are we doing the right things with the right people? And who do we have that we can also use? Not saying you're just going to change people out, but let's bring some more people to the party if they're ready. So it was a good week, I think, for all that stuff. And then just to look at Michigan State, they're a running football team. So again, they're an outside zone football team. All the things that have been giving us trouble, they do. It's a quarterback who can run, who can move. So it's not like it's any different. So we had to work a lot on that this week.
Last week you said you're going to look at both tackle spots. Did you get any clarity at those spots, and do you expect any changes going forward?
Yeah, you'll see it on Saturday. And I mean that respectfully. I don't want to start saying a lot of things about what's going to happen. But I thought last week, guys, we kind of clarified a little bit what we were going to do. And, I think after a game like that, you know exactly what you need to work on. And so I think each guy has improved last week. But I think we feel good about, hey, here's what we're going to go with.
This is a little more wide angle, but with a bigger staff around you administratively and on the field, has it allowed you to pay more attention to things that you didn't have time for in the past, or just structure your week in the season any different?
For the coaching staff, maybe it's bigger by, like, well, I don't know how, maybe it's bigger. Maybe, I haven't noticed that. So we have some young guys that QCs that are, kind of do a lot of the computer work and stuff. But for the most part, the kind of the coaches are the coaches. Staff, I think it's really just been we've beefed up the personnel department, and I think that's allowed us to just be further ahead. You know what I mean? Like instead of just recruiting 26s and trying to get on 27s, now you're on 27s and 28s, and that allows me to focus on the people that we're really trying to recruit. I shouldn't be the frontline guy. I should be here, and so you have an elite team. Pat Stewart's team. Keith and all those guys are doing a great job. So I think that's helped. But I think we have a bunch of people that all know what their job is. They're doing their job at a high level. They're working hard, whether it's travel, whether it's making sure we have guys at community service each week, academics. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, and I think they all work really hard. I think the biggest thing probably, Mitch, is that the first year, like, it's me saying, hey, you do this. Why aren't you doing this? And then the second year, people kind of know it. And then the third year, like, I don't even have to be in the building. I am. Because I don't have anything else to do. But, I mean, I can just trust that, I can't overemphasize how good of a job Corey Campbell does downstairs, just bringing all those departments together. They meet, nutrition, sports science, psychology, strength, and athletic medicine meet every day, really, to go over the guys. And so, I'm grateful to him.
Hey, Matt, there was a call in the Oregon-Penn State game, like the targeting call. There was a similar call in the Michigan-Nebraska game. It seems like as fans, it's changed a little bit. Has it changed, or what's your read on the whole targeting? Who becomes a runner, that type of deal? Yeah, I think they're trying to call less. I mean, I think they're trying to. The penalty is so severe, right? I think they've really changed. I mean, obviously, I think I watched one game. I think it was an ACC game, and they were screaming that he was defenseless, but he wasn't. So, I mean, there's still a place for big hits in football. So if you hit with the crown of your head, then obviously we understand. And then they've changed what the crown is. It used to be this was the crown, but now it's not. Now so they've defined it. They've defined, what defenseless is. You get your second step in the ground, you make a football move. I mean, it's that. And then I think they're quick to now say, like, hey, if you touch him in the shoulder, you have to really lead and hit him in the head. So I like where it's headed. I think I can't the exact plays. I can't speak on an exact play, but just as I watch it, we remember before targeting was a foul, there used to be guys just getting absolutely like annihilated on the field. The guys would launch, and it was to stop that. And then it became every time someone got hit hard, everyone on the sidelines going flag, 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 flag. It's like, just go play football, right? Like, So I think it's gotten better, and I like. I mean, it's kind of like they talked at one point about like a flagrant 1 and a flagrant 2, like, because the guy has to leave the game. That's quite a deal, right? In the NFL, they go back and they watch it on the tape, and if they think it was a malicious hit, they fine you. You can't really do that in college. But I like where targeting is at. I can't speak on those specific plays. I had 4 games going at once on the YouTube thing, so I don't know. I can remember every single play. I saw that play, but I don't know the other one.
I think William Forneri played more than 40 snaps against Michigan. How have you seen him just grow and develop into more of that every down type of guy?
Yeah, he's rugged. He's physical. He just goes like this every day. Right? He just gets better every week. Williams does, and he's been very focused. And he's got all the talent in the world. Just getting him to improve every day, and he's doing that. So I've been pleased with William.